Here we go, Power GT. Someone who has not had the cleanest of seasons. I think he'll be the first one to admit that. But he'll be pushing in these last couple of rounds, and indeed he goes about a second up on Try Again Later Boy. And oh, Power GT's retired. He's crashed. He's actually crashed. We're going to see if we can see that crash site before he disappears. Ah, he's done a Ferrari. He's putting the power down in the Aston Martin as he comes to the line and improves by about 0.02 of a second. Then see Liambuwalda jump all the way up into P2 with a 52.777. Petter Flat crashes out, actually, ironically, at the top of Radion. And oh, I thought Unitos was going to run into the back of him there, but I think Unitos was actually invalidated as a result of that that car being on the circuit. Jay-Z, what time did he set? He set a 56 and is still going to continue to push here to try and get himself outside of that elimination zone. Clivity Clive definitely eliminated. Power GT and Petter Flat both crashed and eliminated. El Nino right now is looking like he's a second up. This should see him far clear and push Unitos into the drop zone. It does indeed. Unitos, who invalidated his lap, is now out as well. Here comes Jay-Z to the line. Can he get out? No, he can't. Finds 1.4 seconds, but that's not quite enough. Unitos, Petter Flat, Jay-Z, Power GT, and Clivity Clive all finding themselves out in this first part of wet qualifying at Spa. And into the bus stop chicane braking zone. Looked a little bit slidey on the rear end for Meet Bureau. It might just be just how fast he is going. It looks like he's slipping and sliding all over the circuit, and he does. Improves by 1.8. The first driver into the 51s. I mean, that's 9/10 quicker than Fuzzle. Mr. Business now currently sat in P10, 0.2 of a second up. This is going to jump him. If he is going to jump into at least P9, could he find some more time that could jump him up into P8? He loses time, actually, but it still accelerates him ahead of Sweatback Flame. Perkins into the pits and then is out of the session. He powers his Ferrari to the line, and he does not improve 4 thousandths down on his time, unfortunately. Is that Dan going off the circuit? Dan's backed off of his lap. P8's the best he's going to achieve. Mr. Business invalidated. P10 will be the best he can achieve. And then it's about a 10th up for Sweatback Flame at the moment. El Nino half a second up at the moment, or 4/10. It's going to be really tight. Not too sure how much Giannuzzi's up by, but it's going to be really, really tight. I don't think Mr. Business is going to find his way through then in this part of qualifying. I just don't see it quite happening. El Nino then to the line. Is he going to be able to displace his teammate and get himself up and through into qualifying 3? He is by a slender margin. Mr. Business finds himself out. Now Sweatback Flame, what's he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to find himself through into the next part of qualifying? Yes, he is. That pushes El Nino down to P12. Try Again Later Boy is also eliminated then. It's honestly incredible. He's about a 10th slower than his Q2 time. But wow, a 51.6 is a cracker of an effort. Pyro only able to manage a 53.5. A D10 then. 53.1 is the best he can manage. Liambuwalda, a 51.9. Again into the 51s for Liam. That's a cracker of a lap, a 10th for the Welshman. Let's hope he can follow the trail to provisional pole position then. Giannuzzi to the line, a 52.9. A pretty impressive lap time, actually. Shaqos, he comes round and exits turn 20 now. Full throttle to the line. Shaqos, he takes provisional pole position by just over 0.3 of a second. That's a cracker of a lap from Shaqos. Pyro's 1.4 up. Puts himself on a 51 as well. The Alfa Romeo of Dan coming through. He is in the Alfa Romeo at the moment. I think we've said that about 3 times now. To the line for Dan. It's a 52.6. That is the best he is going to manage in this session. We've then got one of the Ferraris. Is that Meet Bureau? Meet Bureau next. He's currently 0.3 of a second up. Will he find himself singing or crying in the rain? It's sounds of joy for the Ferrari fans as a 51.421, 600ths clear. send Meet Burrell to provisional pole position. We've got Fuzzle 1.4 seconds up on his time. It's going to be a 52.5, and Pete, oh no, it's even faster. It's a 51.7 for Fuzzle. He finds so much time through that final sector, just 0.3 away from provisional pole position. Then is Fuzzle in the Mercedes. P3 is probably going to be the best he's going to be the best he's going to be able to manage. Liambuwalda only 0.2 of a second up at the moment. This is only going to find him. Tech support's crashed out at Stavolo, but all eyes need to be on Liam now. I mean, Shaqos is going again, but again, he's pulled into the pits because he was down. Sparks flying for the McLaren behind. Can he find the time that he needs to displace Meet Burrell or even Shaqos at the front row of the grid? Liambuwalda powers to the line in the McLaren. He doesn't quite find the time to displace the top two, but is able to find enough to go ahead of Fuzzle. Giannuzzi in D10. D10 moves up to P3 ahead of Liambuwalda, ahead of the championship contender. Giannuzzi to the line now, P6. And now all of our laps are done.